Welcome to Sales for Nice People, the daily podcast for ethical entrepreneurs who want to learn how to sell more without having to be a dick about it. This is episode 20. I am Martin Steller. I help nice people sell more. And here's some thoughts on what you can do when a buyer tells you no. When a buyer says, no, we've chosen somebody else. We've decided to wait. We've decided it's too expensive. Most cases, people will then shut down the conversation. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. And that's it. That is a big loss. It's a mistake because the no can very often be the start of a completely new conversation. When your buyer tells you no, they have made a decision. And if you handle that in the right way, you might be able to get an introduction, a new deal, permission to follow up in the future. There's all kinds of positive outcomes that can result if you know how to handle the no. So how do you do that? Well, in my case, the way I like to treat the no is, first of all, you thank your people. Thanks for telling me. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you made this decision. Now, the reason that I like to say that is because it's a pattern interrupt. You don't expect that from somebody who's selling something. You expect all kinds of maybe pushback, or you expect them to just go away, but you don't expect your seller to then say, thank you, I'm glad you made the decision. Because of that pattern interrupt, you're very often able to continue the conversation. How do you do that? By asking a question based on permission. So your buyer tells you no. You go, great. Thank you for telling me. I'm really happy that you made a decision. Because as we all know, the worst thing that can happen in a situation with a buyer is that they don't make a decision and you never hear back from them. So I'm really happy that you told me, and I'm glad that you made a decision, because if you have this problem and you need it solved, then either solve it with me, solve it without me, or don't solve it, but don't stay stuck in not making the decision. I'm glad that you made this decision. Would you mind if I ask you a question? Well, because of the pattern interrupt, and because of the respect and consideration for their decision that you've shown, they're going to probably say, sure, fire away. And then you can ask things like, in what way did this offer not meet your needs? Or if price weren't an objection, would it have been a yes? Or is there another way in which I can serve you and help you solve that problem that we discussed without the proposal that we've been talking about? There's no guarantee that that is going to lead to a sale, but you're very likely to have a conversation that will lead to something else. And if nothing further happens with this buyer, you can always ask for an introduction to somebody else. So don't take the no as the end point. Use the no as a motivation and excuse to thank them, to ask for permission for another question, and to continue the conversation.